Good morning and welcome to Tuesday's Nutrition. I am your host, Ambia Phelan, and today we are interviewing a good friend of mine. Her name is Jennifer Ratanapratum. She is the intern for UCLA's athletics for sports nutrition. She's also been studying for 3 years at CSULB for health and nutrition and dietetics. She's on the board of California Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics over at the District of Orange. She's also the former co-host of Foodology Radio at CSULB. And she's also the vice president of the Student Dietetic Association. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So today we're going to be asking Jennifer, when people come to ask for nutrition and health questions for her specifically, just what some of her answers would be. So Jennifer, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so our first question of the day is, when you think of eating healthy, what does that mean to you?
Well, when eating healthy, I just think of different terminology. So when a client comes to me and they ask me, how do I eat healthy or how do I start eating healthy, there's just some terms that come to mind. So for example, sustainability. Is this meal plan or is this regimen going to be sustainable for you from day to day? Because if it's not sustainable, it's something that you're not going to be able to keep up with. Another one is being able to have a balanced meal plan, a balanced diet throughout the day, so making sure you're eating frequently throughout the day and making sure you have enough macronutrients in your diet. And another one would be to have make it effortful, so making a daily effort to be able to contribute to your health. So just thinking about that consistently, and also making sure that your meals are energy dense, using quality nutrients. So again, not only taking into account the macronutrients, but also the micronutrients, so your vitamins, minerals, what do those foods contain?
And when you say macronutrients, what does that mean?
So macronutrients include your carbohydrates, your fats, your protein, and your sugars and sweets come secondary to all of that. So
awesome. Great. Thank you. All right. Second question. If someone is coming to you with nutritional help, what's the first thing you teach them?
I like that you say teach, because after assessing their readiness to change and their capability and motivation to change, we do educate a lot on when we do nutrition counseling. So making sure that someone is able to see what it is that they're eating. So we're doing a dietary recall, and after doing their assessment on their dietary recall, we take a look at that, at the whole picture, look at different areas of their life. So whether it's stress that's taking them down, takes into account their eating habits. It could be work, maybe their time to work. They have too much time in the morning, or maybe too little time in the morning to prep food. So just making sure that fits into their schedule. But the two things that I would say I educate most of my clients would be having balanced meals. So making sure, again, the macronutrients and micronutrients are all in there. And then also portion control is very huge.
Awesome. Yes, portion control I know is really big with our audience. I've had a lot of questions about, specifically on portion control. We're going to be talking about that later on in this month, on how to do portion control without actually counting every calorie. And so thank you for bringing that up. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. How do you feel about fad diets?
We get this question a lot because there are so many things out there. Like I know paleo is a really big one, and it's really a lifestyle. So I'm not opposed to any diet. It's just like, if it works for you, then that's great, because everyone's body is biochemically made differently. So I just hope that everyone that's doing that diet is doing their research. And also, I'm not opposed to it, because there's no one diet fits all. You really have to experiment with everything, do your research. So my tip for that would be to seek out help from either a registered dietitian or someone who knows what they're doing, knows how to look up science-based evidence and be able to utilize that information and transfer it to the individual. So
perfect. Awesome. Yeah, paleo is huge. I know so many people actually, they use that diet every day, and they ask, and they're like, oh, well, I've been doing this forever, and if it works for them, awesome, great.
Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah. Perfect. Just a few more questions for you. Life is so much more fast-paced these days. Like you said before, it really has to do with your work and if you're coming or going a lot. What are some tips for people who are on the go all the time?
Okay, so I'll use myself as an example, because I'm on the go a lot.
Mm-hmm.
From being a full-time student, working part-time, and being involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, I get up at 4 a.m. in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm able to have my meals set throughout the day, and that's because this is a tip for you guys, is I plan ahead.
Yes.
So planning ahead, it sounds very daunting, but it's not. It's really easy. I've done it for my clients, and for them at first it looks like, oh, this is a lot that I have to do, but once they write down their grocery list and they're like, oh, it's actually not that much food, it's just like being able to pair up everything and making sure that it fits well for them.
Mm-hmm.
But for people that are on the go, I would say, again, it's individualized. It's dependent on what your schedule's like and what's going to fit your lifestyle. So a tip I would have for everybody overall across the board would be plan ahead, and if you know that you're not going to have time, find time on the weekends, and don't make excuses, and don't go too drastic of a change, because you don't want to go cold turkey, and you don't want to put something on yourself that you're not going to be able to follow through with. You only go as fast as your body and your mind will allow you to. So that's something that's going to be able to move on with you forever. So with that, I mean, with exercise, it's the same thing. You pick one thing, do it for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Once you master that, you move on to the next thing. And so that would be my best tip.
You said something too, it was kind of a quote worthy. Before when we were talking, you said you only move as fast as you allow yourself to.
Yeah.
I really like that quote.
Yeah.
You only move as fast as you allow yourself to. You are in control of your life. You are in control of what you do.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to decide how fast paced you go.
Yeah.
Cool. And so lastly, Jennifer, what would be a message you would like our audience to know about food and nutrition?
Don't do it alone. You have a lot of support. You have family, friends, you have mentors, you have coaches that are there to help you. Some people feel that they're doing it alone, and so that's when I feel like a lot of people will start to fall back to their old habits and not be able to move forward. So those people that are around you are there to keep you accountable and just keep inspiring you to move forward. So when you feel like you're gonna fall down really hard, get back up, look for those people and help them pull you forward. But another tip I would have is to be able to seek out your resources and be able to know what you're doing, and even if it means like seeking out help from a dietitian or someone like you who knows about nutrition, being able to direct them to the right areas. So
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys. I hope this was very helpful for you. I brought Jennifer in because, she's been studying this for a long time. She's been involved with so many different clients and, different people with walks of life. So I wanted to hear it from her firsthand. She is the master at this. So thank you so much for listening to us and watching. Thank you, Ninja.
Thank you for having me.